before we get started, I have a little treat for you all. It's not every day I get to introduce a karate world champion, but we are going to start with a short video from Jeff Thompson, who is the Chair of Governors at the University of East London. He couldn't be with us today because it happens to be graduation day for the university. So he's very kindly sent us this video, and we will start with that now if everyone is ready.
Of the University of East London's vision, mission and values. The late Lord Noon, one of the greatest chancellors in UEL's history, very much believed in all things being equal, diverse and inclusive, irrespective of what you look like, where you come from, what you believe in, what you sound like, or whatever your lifestyle choice may be. It is at the very spirit of these awards that we continue to champion, by way of reflecting in our students, our stakeholders, but more importantly society as a whole, why these awards represent the champions who still advocate what the challenges might be, but more importantly, what the opportunities should be in a fair, just and tolerant society. These awards reflect all that it should be, must be and continue to be as we still face the challenges of intolerance, injustice, and I think a society unsure of itself on the basis of what we are here to do, simply to ensure that everybody is given a fair, equal, diverse opportunity for all. So these awards are special by way of recognising a special man, and I think on the basis of that, those who receive these awards should consider them a very important recognition of their efforts, and more importantly, and hopefully inspire those who will seek to raise the bar and to continue to fight for all things right, proper, just and true.
Thank you very much to Jeff Thompson. As you heard there, we are entering awards ceremony mode. And these Global Equality and Diversity Awards were conceived by Lord Noon to recognise the contribution of businesses and public organisations to equality and diversity. This is the 5th year the awards have been going, and they're both a celebration of achievement and also a representation of the next generation of benchmarks for research that informs bold change, using transparency in measuring the impact and revising action plans. The quality of this year's entries, I'm told, was exceptionally high, and it is clear that there is a lot of innovative work taking place around the country and globally in businesses, local government, academia, and public services to raise the bar and ensure equality and diversity, not only in the workplace, but also in the practices and relationships of the organisations that is a key focus for all areas of society. Before announcing this year's winners, we would like to give a special thanks to HFW for their support and in particular their kind sponsorship of the Noon Award, which is the first award I will be awarding this afternoon. And we're delighted that David Robinson, board member of the Noon Centre and partner at HFW, will present this award, and he's going to come and say a few words for us now. So over to you, David. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Are there any Americans in the room? I was going to say Happy Thanksgiving, and then condolences for your president. I stand here as a former trustee of the Noon Foundation, which gave the initial grant to set up the Noon Centre at the University of East London. For those who are unfamiliar with my friend Noon, that's him, a truly great man. Noon was a small boy in Bombay, in India, where he had a vision that he would lift his family out of poverty and into wealth. He came to London with nothing. He stayed for £1 a night in a hotel in Westminster and started work in an Indian restaurant there, one of the first in this country. He built, over time, Noon products, which you may or may not have had some of. It's the Indian ethnic food sold by Sainsbury's and Waitrose. And when he sold the business, not once but twice, he put sizable sums into a trust fund, which I was one of the trustees of, from which he endowed the University of East London, Birkbeck College and other institutions, and together we built a 150-bed hospital for the poor in South Rajasthan, in the town that his family originated from. His one principle was that everybody should be treated equally. On the road to success, Noon Products had a factory by the Paddington line out to Reading, and there was a terrible fire one night, and the factory was razed to the ground. His workforce all turned up to work the next day, and of course expected or hoped to be paid. He was advised by his accountants that he could easily lay them off on the basis of the fire, they couldn't work, and he said, "No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I will pay their salaries until the factory is open again." So everybody from the man or woman who swept the floors to cooks and chefs and directors of the company were in the same boat, treated equally. That was his vision. His vision was also that he would, with his money, make people's lives change for the good. It's no good building buildings unless you fill them with real people, people who are vibrant, people who are active. And what a man he is for that legacy. Now, I also stand here as a partner in Holman Fenwick Williams, so I ought to mention the firm. It's a great firm. It's an international firm, so we are truly aligned with the principles of this conference, and I'm delighted to get our name linked with it, and it's been linked with this award since its inception, and I'm very proud of that indeed. Finally, I'd like to say don't give up on the road. There's a book that was written in 1792 by Mary Wollstonecraft. She was a strong advocate of equality. In this book, she sets out the immortal phrase, "I desire not that women should have power over men, but over themselves." As a wannabe, because we're still waiting for registration, of a charity called the Wollstonecraft Society, we hope to articulate Mary's visions and words and spread them as wide as possible. I'm very proud that Holman Fenwick, HFW, stand out there, has or had got certain books, copies of a book by B. Rowlett, one of the trustees of this new trust. And if there are any left, I'd encourage you to go and get the last copies. But if not, go and buy one for yourself, because it's worth reading. But this book is an example of how, in Georgian times, 1797, she died, a woman stood up against society. And those visions that she articulated were very real then. Girls weren't educated, and they should be, and they are today. But judging from what I've heard in this excellent conference this morning, there's still a lot to do by everybody in this room and outside. And now, after a rather prolonged introduction, let's get on with the award winners and celebrate them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David, and it feels fitting that we honour the legacy of Lord Noon with this award. And I'm not going to keep you all in suspense unnecessarily, although I was tempted to do an Oscars reveal. We're going to start with the commended recipient, and then we will move on to the winner of the award. So, commended for the Noon Award is Green Park for their outstanding contribution to increasing boardroom diversity. Green Park is one of the sector's few minority-owned businesses and is today changing the face, minds and cultures of the UK's leading public, private and third sector organisations. Its leaders have set a new benchmark for the recruitment industry in consistently attracting diverse groups of appointable candidates, and they are internationally respected for promoting and implementing diverse and inclusive recruitment practices and proving that it is possible to widen the gate without lowering the bar. Internally, Green Park is a living example of how a diverse organisation, it's 51% female and 17% BAME, will outperform monocultures in turbulent markets, an inspiring example for us all. So to receive this certificate of commendation, please welcome Jo Heath, Head of Diversity at Green Park. And we are getting a bit Oscars. We're just going to do a photo for each winner. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
On to the winner of the Noon Award 2018, and that goes to Diversity and Ability Ltd for its work on digital inclusion and tailored support for homeless individuals. Just to tell you a bit more about our winners, Diversity and Ability, DNA, believes that someone's socioeconomic background shouldn't be the deciding factor in whether they can access support. They have delivered digital literacy and wellbeing courses at Crisis Homelessness Charity for the last 4 years, with the aim of improving digital inclusion for those disabled by poverty and impacted by neurodiversity, enabling better access to housing, employment, and social welfare. DNA make projects like this possible through a cross-subsidy model where 50% more of DNA's profits is invested back into the business, paying for social justice projects through commercial income. And to receive the award and certificate, please welcome back to the stage Atif Chowdhury, Chief Executive, Diversity and Ability. Oh, and he's here already. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you want to hold it?
Three, two, one. Perfect.
Well done. Atif, do you want to Thank you all very much. Next, on to the second of our 5 awards, the Chancellor's Award. And first, the commended category for the Chancellor's Award goes to Health Education England North East. Education England North East has a strong and positive commitment to equality and diversity with several work streams that promote discussion, sharing, action and meaningful investment to best serve our population. A focus over the past few years has been its continued investment in enhanced equality and diversity training to help exceed standards, develop faculty, and encourage reflection and learning for them as an organisation. This has been aimed at management, and including those responsible for directly managing postgraduate medical training programmes for junior doctors. Health Education England North East has developed training sessions using role play for several subjects with an E&D theme. And here to receive the certificate, please welcome David Turner, Medical Quality Manager for Health Education England North East. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
And the winner of the University of East London Chancellor's Award goes to Open for Business. Business Action for LGBT and Inclusive Societies. Open for Business is a coalition of global companies taking action to promote equality for LGBT people, focusing on countries where LGBT plus rights are challenged. Founded in 2015 by the Brunswick Group, the coalition includes a stellar list of companies: Accenture, American Express, AT&T, Barclays, BCG, Burberry, Diageo, EY, GSK, Google, IBM, Inditex, Linklaters, I could go on, all advocating for LGBT plus rights. Their research into the economic and business case for LGBT plus inclusion has already helped to redefine the global conversation. Open for Business is making a real impact. And here to receive the award and certificate are Rory McIntosh and Anne-Catherine Richter from the Brunswick Group. On to the third of our 5 awards, the Transparency Award. First in the commended category, Doncaster Council. This goes to Transparency at Doncaster Council in recognition of their success in adopting good practice to help the workforce achieve the best for Doncaster. Not only was the council the first local authority to publish its gender pay gap, it also took an active role in promoting, advising and sharing its work nationally, speaking at the Government Equalities Office on closing the gender pay gap, roadshows, appearing on an LGA workforce news video, supporting ACAS with local government calculation queries, developing a regional local government workshop to assist others, as well as helping other councils across the country. And here to receive the certificate of commendation, we have May Wilson, Senior HROD Officer, and Caroline Barkley, HROD Business Partner at Doncaster Council. Congratulations. Wait, take a picture. Thank you. Congratulations. The winner of the Transparency Award goes to Bristol Manifesto for Race Equality, the Strategic Leaders Group. Bristol Manifesto for Race Equality Strategic Leaders Group's work in producing an outstanding partnership, research and data project to highlight race equality performance of all 12 of the public sector partner agencies in Bristol has won this award. The final product went into great depth to present the current picture, the challenges and opportunities in Bristol. The result was the creation of a product that showed pay gaps between BAME and white staff collectively and agency by agency, as well as showing sickness levels and disciplinary data between groups. This was extremely ambitious and innovative and took the work of this product way beyond current statutory obligations, demonstrating a huge level of trust and a commitment to transparency between partner agencies. And here to receive the award is Andrew Mallin, Race Equality Strategic Leaders Group Delivery Manager. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The penultimate award, the Research Award, and commended in this category is Questback and Conflux. This commendation is for groundbreaking research undertaken by Questback and Conflux within financial services organisations to identify the underlying cultural factors behind the gender pay gap. And here to receive the award are John Wilkinson, the General Manager for the UK of Questback, and Andrew Cox, Managing Director of Conflux. Congratulations again. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
The winner of the Research Award goes to the National Centre for Social Research. This is for the project Enhancing Diversity in Policing. The National Policing Vision 2025 is clear that by 2025, policing will be a profession with a more representative workforce reflecting the communities it serves to ensure the diverse needs and priorities of communities are understood. NatSen had a challenging timescale with just 12 weeks to complete this research. And the research has enabled the development of toolkits covering workforce, organisation, communities and partners. These set out key components to successfully achieve the vision by focusing on leadership and culture, recruitment, retention and progression of the workforce. And this work has recently been adopted by all 43 police forces of England, Wales and Northern Ireland and is significantly shaping the future of diversity in policing. So here to receive the award and certificate is Jana Berry, researcher from NatSen Social Research.
Excellent.
Thank you. I'm getting a bit of a workout over here. Throw it in for free. Right, our final award is the Inclusive Workplace Award. And commended in this category, we're on a theme here, South Yorkshire Police. Not everyone anticipates the extent of the administrative and screen-based tasks involved in being a police officer. Recruits experiencing report writing difficulties had grown to the extent that every intake of 16 recruits could now include 1 or 2 individuals affected. And the number of ways in which people have been affected by learning difficulties appear to have grown. Not everyone has a diagnosis or is even aware of the condition that they might have. And among people knowingly and unknowingly affected, many have coping mechanisms and are working in South Yorkshire Police. Already branded and marketed with teasers across the forces, SYP 4D, and being launched formally on the 1st of October 2018 to connect with Dyslexia Awareness Week, the new association has already met and begun its business. Police officer notebooks are printed on different shades of coloured paper, and these have been procured, consulted upon and distributed to officers where assessments suggest it might be useful for them. People with a diagnosis are joining the associations, offering themselves and their experiences to support others. The journey continues. So here to receive the certificate, Simon Meller, Fairness, Inclusion and Equality Lead from South Yorkshire Police, and I don't have your name, but please tell her. Wendy. And Wendy, thank you very much. Congratulations. Well done. Hello. Oh, and you're not Simon, you're Steve, sorry. I had bad information. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done again. The winner of the Inclusive Workplace Award is Positive Action to Create a Representative Workforce. This is a joint action between the network and the private offices of both the Home Secretary and ministers to increase BAME appointments in private offices by almost 50% in 12 months. Through its diversity and inclusion strategy, the Home Office is committed to supporting civil service diversity and inclusion strategies' ambition to make the civil service the most inclusive employer in the UK by 2020. Working with HR colleges, the network directly advertised and targeted the specific private office jobs adverts to its membership of 4,000 people to raise the visibility and opportunity to those who previously would not have been aware of or considered applying for such high-profile roles. Within a 12-month period, they witnessed a quantitative increase in the number of BAME staff applying for private office roles in the Home Office, which has produced an increased intake of successful BAME appointees in private offices. They've now received agreement that these positive action statement recruitment processes be introduced as a new standard for recruitment strategically in targeting business areas of underrepresentation. So here to receive the award and certificate is Amuche Anurukem from the Home Office. Congratulations. I didn't congratulate you as well.
Right,
and Balwant Bill.
Don't worry.
Congratulations. you.
Congratulations. Thanks very much. Get the certificate.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Final round of applause for our final winners. So congratulations to all of the winners. And just to conclude the award ceremony part of the day, in just a few short years, the diversity and inclusion has moved beyond internal workforce issues. And the Global Equality and Diversity was the first program to recognize this shift. And thinking back to Trevor Phillips's prediction that data and transparency would transform the diversity and inclusion agenda, this has happened faster than expected. The shift to identifying disparity at all points of engagement in an organization, from staffing through to suppliers, to consumers, users, and clients, and seeing ways to address them, is beginning to gather pace. The publication of the Race Disparity Report in October that we heard about earlier has set a template for the emerging transparency that is essential, I think we've all agreed, for change. And we all look forward next year to gender pay gap reporting and ethnicity pay reporting if the government acts on the consultation. We here at GED will be keeping up with it all, we assure you.